Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Visit squarespace.com/BrendanVanson for more details. What's going on, guys? I am still in Japan. I'm leading a photography workshop here in Japan, essentially doing the exact same route I did last week. But the big difference is now it's gonna be the heart of Sakura season, of cherry blossom season, or at least I hope so. And it gets crazy busy here in Japan during Sakura season. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different on this video, this vlog. I'm going to show you the reality of so many of these photo locations that people go to because they get absolutely jam-packed. They're not the like tranquil one person in a cozy alley sort of thing that you sometimes see on Instagram. They're kind of chaos. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of that chaos, and I'm also gonna show you some alternative locations that are a little bit quieter, but still really good. So let's get into it. The first location is called Piss Alley. I don't think that's the real name. Oh, in fact, there's a sign that says it's Omaide yo Kocho, something like that. Piss Alley is a little alley full of restaurants and bars that are tiny and very photogenic. But it is always absolutely packed in here. So let's go in and see if we can make a photo amongst the crowds. Piss Alley is actually one of those really fun to photograph locations. Even if it's swarming with people, it seems like anywhere you point your camera, there's a photo here. So despite the crowds, I do think I get a couple images. Wasn't that busy in there, yeah, had some fun. A little bit of spray and pray going on with the lenses. Don't know if I got anything, but it wasn't so bad, to be honest. But if that's too busy for you, there are other options. There's a cool spot just kind of around the corner from here where there's lots of lights of the city, and there's an overpass, and there's trains that go flying past, and you can kind of play with panning shots and get the street lights and the lights of Shinjuku and the train sharp. So I'm gonna head over that way right now. Leaving Piss Alley, it starts to piss down a little bit. But there's a funny thing about Japan. When it rains, I think it actually becomes even more photogenic. So from up on the overpass and in front of the bridge, I grab a couple more images. Basically, I'm tracking the train or whatever object I'm following and trying to move my camera at exactly the same speed they're moving. Using a shutter speed at like 1/8 of a second. Okay guys, I'm at Shibuya Crossing, the busiest photo spot in the world? Probably not, but it's the busiest crossing in the world, outside the busiest train station on the planet, which is right there. There's something like 1 million people a day cross here, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a cool photo location, but it is kind of busy. Wow, that wasn't chaos at all. That was the easiest I've crossed this crossing, but then again, it's not exactly rush hour yet. Yeah, fun location. I don't know if I'm gonna photograph it today, but I'll share an image or two of it with you now. Okay, so we've left Tokyo and we're now at Fuji and Chito Pagoda, which is one of the most popular places to come for sunrise. It's actually not that bad this morning. I've been here where in 5 in the morning, literally it's shoulder to shoulder and rows of people, but the cherry blossoms aren't out yet, so it's not quite as crazy, but we're not even at sunrise and it already kind of looks like this. Yeah, there's good reason why this place is so packed. I mean, it's such a great photo location. But one of the things you can do to avoid the crowds is photograph locations at times different than, you know, the crowds are there. We got up early enough to photograph some of the stars, and then hung around till sunrise and already had the best spot scoped out. So I totally get why so many people photograph Chito, whatever it's called. Chito, it sounds Spanish, so I can't say it. Chito, maybe it's not right. Chito Pagoda. It's awesome. It's such a beautiful photo spot and such an awesome location. But there are so many places to photograph Mount Fuji. Along the lake at Kawaguchiko, there's just countless little pockets and bits of foreground to photograph. So we're right down on the lake at Kawaguchiko now. Unfortunately, Fuji-san has gone into the clouds, but I found like this little pier plus some boats that line straight into Fuji. And I think it's a nice photo if Fuji's out. Fuji's not out, so it's kind of a so-so photo. But I'll share with you what I got here. In the end, Fuji did pop out a little bit. So I got a couple more images, and to be honest, I'm loving the images I'm getting here in Japan so far. Okay, we've come to Nara. Nara is another one of these places that is absolutely packed with tourists. They have the deer here that bow to you, and then tourists give them treats. As a result, it's really popular because it's cute, even if it's pretty unethical. But it's also one of those places that's known for its deer, but actually should be known for other things because it is so beautiful here. So you'll come to Nara and you'll walk in, there's hundreds and hundreds of people surrounding the deer. But if you actually bypass it a little bit and get a little farther in, there's a couple really cool shrines and temples that you can see. And sometimes if you're lucky, you can get the deer in that area rather than back in the field surrounded by people. So that's what we're doing today, skipping the crowded area and headed to some other locations within Nara. On this visit to Nara, I didn't really get any images I really love. There's a couple decent ones here and there, but nothing outstanding. If you didn't see the last video from Japan, I actually visited Nara on that one as well. And there's a couple pretty good images there too, so if you haven't seen that one, go and check it out. There's a link up top. So I'm at Fushimi Inari, and there's already like 5 photography groups inside. It's not even sunrise, so I'm gonna go to the gate and see if I can get a photo of the gate. Okay, so I'm at Fushimi Inari. This is probably the most popular photo spot in all of maybe Japan, to be honest. And it's the start of cherry blossom season. I just went into the gates and there was a minimum 4 photography workshops I saw as soon as I went in. So I decided I've got that photo before, I'm gonna come outside the gate and try something a little bit different. So instead I'm at the front of the gates. There's no other photographers around, although there are lots of tourists starting to roll in. And it's a little bit of a less stressful environment for sure. Japan in cherry blossom season is crazy. And all of the photo locations are 10 times busier than usual. So it gets a little bit wild. The good news is the alternative photo locations in Kyoto are basically everywhere. The city is incredibly beautiful, and you can find images basically on any street in town. So we're gonna wander around town a little bit over the next couple days and see if we can find some other photos. Sure, some of the images in the past I've gotten from within the gates were definitely better than this one. But it was definitely much more of a relaxing morning. I wasn't pushing amongst crowds, I wasn't getting frustrated with people walking my frames. I had a really enjoyable morning. The crazy thing about Japan is no matter how busy it gets, there always is a spot just a little bit away from the crowds where you can make a photo. Even here at Toji Temple, where there was a line of photographers 4 people deep, I managed to wander about 100 feet away from them and find this really beautiful reflection spot, and I had it all to myself. And this is what the scene looks like at Hokkanji Temple at 5 in the morning. It's packed, and this wasn't even that busy of a morning. So rather than squirm my way through the middle of the mall, I went literally right around the corner and found this pretty beautiful frame as well. I kept wandering a little bit farther and I found another frame that's much more unique of Hokkanji Temple framed between a shrine. And I think part of the beauty of Kyoto in general is there's just photos basically anywhere. You don't need to go to the classic spots. Get your camera lens out basically everywhere you walk, and you never know when a photo's gonna pop up. Okay guys, I wanna end this video from my office just to point something out. I don't think it's a bad thing for you to go and photograph classic iconic photo locations. I think it's fun. In fact, I kind of made my career off doing that. Going to classic iconic photo locations and making them my own, then trying to find different compositions of the same things. It's fun. But it's not like Pokemon. You don't gotta collect them all. And once you get them once, like I think I have, it's really fun to go out and try to find other things. So I'm not judging you. If you go to Japan for your first time, of course you want these photos. They're iconic. And they're good photos. There's a reason everybody wants to take those photos in those locations. They're awesome locations. I'm not judging you. I don't judge you at all. I just want that to be clear. There is there's nothing wrong with you going to iconic photo locations in iconic places, taking iconic photos. That's cool. In my old age, I'm starting to find myself really enjoying going to places that don't have other photographers and trying to find those photos. And that's kind of the focus of what I've been trying to do and what I'm going to be doing throughout the future on this channel. My next video is from Patagonia. There's going to be some iconic stuff there. And then beyond that, I think there's going to be a little less of the iconic photo locations and more searching for my own iconic photo locations. I really want to put an emphasis on finding the cool stuff. I don't want to just photograph stuff people already found. I want to find the stuff. I want to get back to finding the stuff. So look forward to that focus and look forward to a word from today's sponsor at the end of this video. I'll see you guys on the next one from Patagonia. Peace. Squarespace is a great place to build a website. There's a new guided design system with SEO optimizing tools, which will help make it easier for people to find you. As for professional tools, you can use the Squarespace platform to automate bookings and appointments. And there's also client invoicing and payment processing, which makes setting up an online store for your photography-based website really easy. So, if you're looking to build a website to help grow your business or showcase your work, visit squarespace.com/BrendanVanson for 10% off your first purchase.